Hey Hayden.
Hey, how are you?
You all right, mate? It's better on Zoom.
No, it's way, way better.
It's much better than having to try and type and look at charts.
Yeah. All right. So where is the
I'm
video?
finding it really interesting. Thank you for all the extra work that you're putting in with this, but it's really helping the zone to zone because I'm looking now, and some of my trades have been like midway in like the shit zone, really.
Yeah,
So no, it's really helping. Thank you. And I don't like the flashing signals on smart charts.
yeah. They're not
It
great.
does my head in.
Yeah. Um, I've played with a few settings. I just don't want it to record all the videos on the side, so I'm just trying to make sure I've got it off before I go much further.
Yeah.
Here's everyone's video. So participants, hide profile pictures. Oh, I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking for.
I've just turned mine off.
Yeah, normally it's I played with a couple of settings, and normally I've got like an area where I can see everyone's
Yeah.
like just the names of all the people rather than just participants. And if I've got it on one screen, then what it does is it records when I look at the recording, it has it all down here on the side, even though it's not here now.
Oh, okay.
So it's really it's a bit annoying for like when you watch the recording again because you can't see the price, the scale.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I was going to try do here was just see my charts. I've just moved this London low at the moment. Given that we've taken out this 1 hour order block, which was over here to the left. Okay.
Yep.
So we're oh wait, here it is. Stop, surface, video, mute. No, maybe I've got it. Maybe I've got it set. Yeah, maybe I've got it set. Anyway, okay, so now we're sort of inside this wick, this is a dangerous wick to be looking for sells here.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be looking for sells immediately now.
Okay.
But I was going to give it a little go for a buy as well if I got the right confirmation. So it was like a little tiny short-term scalp that once price had pushed underneath here, took a buy when it was coming back up.
Yep.
And there was only like a 7-pip stop loss.
Yep.
So when I got up, I realized when it was sort of rejecting off of here that I just moved stops to break even just to, I didn't want to let this one go. And I was like, because it is kind of counter, I just wanted to see like what I want to see is I wanted to see an immediate reaction from the underneath this wick. If it wasn't going to give me an immediate reaction, then I don't want to be in this trade. But this is a liquidity point. Now the structure is 100% bearish right now.
Yeah.
We can see this quite easily. Little order block here coming down like that. Now, if we look at the 1 hour, even the 4 hour, there is such a clean range for it to fill to the downside.
Yep.
So I would love just to see it drop. But we've got little points across here that we could have little rejections from. Okay. So what I'm thinking is there's a good chance, given that on the hour, I'll see this order block, I'm going to move it here because it's been taken now. Now I'm not really interested in that. This little line, I can
remove it.
I can now say liquidity has been taken from here. Oops, then I can just move it there. So now it's out of the way. This one here got taken by this one. It's out of the way.
Yeah.
This fib that I've got here at the moment is just giving me my London high, London 50%, and London low.
Okay.
When I have, once the London session or once the New York kicks in, I'll have my actual London low. Then I can actually just put my lines in properly. At the moment,
Yeah.
I've just got it there sitting. Just I'm going to add it once it's done. It's just there. I don't want to recreate it again.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is potentially what we've got right now is an imbalance here.
Yeah.
So maybe this, given that this was a liquidity area, being the bottom of the order block, has dipped down a little bit. Maybe it can give me it can fill the imbalance and then keep on driving down.
Ah, okay.
Right? That makes sense. So
Yeah.
I'm going to, just as an idea right now, that's the current imbalance. Until this candle's closed, it won't have confirmed it yet.
Yeah.
But at the moment, that's sort of what I'm looking at. So I can put in a little line and say, if I put this on my line, on my chart, and then go to like the lower time frame.
Yep.
Just check
That's
the 30-minute.
What was that? Sure. It was on the hourly.
Yeah, I did on the hour.
Yeah,
on the 30-minute, what I can say is I can actually refine this a little bit on my 30-minute, and then say that imbalance is a little bit closer to here, to the bottom of that wick.
Yeah.
Now this doji is telling me that it could take the bottom of this doji and then pull up.
Yeah.
This area, I'm going to move that line to here. Now I'm going to look at this I go down time frame again. 30-minute, I'm pretty happy with it being a 30-minute imbalance. 15-minute, do I see any candles here that, no, not really. It's all fairly clean on the way down. Little tiny bullish 15-minute candle, but at the moment, all the wicks are just making lower highs.
Yeah.
So it's, the further we get away from resistance, which is here, the higher the probability is it can come back to that area.
Okay.
So go to the 5-minute. Now, this was the line that I'd drawn. You can see it's very faint. It's just on the top of that box.
Yep.
So you see like this a little lighter color than this is the darker color.
Yep.
If I go to the 1-minute, what is that lining up with? This is a structure, and this is another level of structure. So it's second structure on my 1-minute. This is first structure, because from this low, price pulled up, made a double top, and then dropped down, made a new lower low. This was a double top, so this is another little area. This is another little area where price. Sorry.
I do like double tops.
Yeah, so like that makes sense that there's liquidity sitting above here, so price could spike up to that liquidity and then drop.
Okay.
This candle stands out to me as well. That's a liquidity candle. Broke the high, broke the low, closed lower. So I can put a little tiny box along there. So that stands out to me. So these, if it's going to pull back, I don't want to take a sell off here, but I'd like it to fill this area. This is the structure. At least show a rejection from here, maybe push up into there. What I would like to see is something like this pattern, but the reverse.
Okay.
So push up, something wick up, break the low, and then if it does that, then likely if it retests that area, I can have a very, very tight stop loss, and then see if we can just continue with the trend. And then that means that this 1 hour candle, it might not even do it in this 1 hour candle, but maybe when this imbalance has been filled, then we could get that reaction. So maybe I'll just mark this as the 30-minute imbalance, which is also contained as part of the bigger 1 hour imbalance.
Yeah.
But it's kind of refined a bit nicer on the lower time frames.
Yep.
So 1 hour imbalance.
Your TradingView move as well. Mine drives me mad to keep moving.
What's that?
The TradingView, it moves when you change time frames.
Oh, it's just, you mean like squished up and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
It's just because it's like when I'm zooming in. Yeah, I know. I guess it must be a real issue to write code to have it always in the right scale. Must be a real difficult to do. So it's fine.
I thought it was just mine, so I'm glad I've seen it on yours.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's okay. So looking at the 5 minute, then
See, this is where you can't get on smart charts, is it? This is why now I find it a bit frustrating.
yeah, it's super slow.
Yeah.
Super slow. So we've got we have
So I've got the 1 minute.
we've got a little bit of a gap here as well. And this candle, see that candle there?
Yeah.
So I can mark that one. And then this wick, this doji.
Yep.
Where there's an imbalance here. So there's going to be liquidity resting above that, but I'm not sure how strong it would be.
Okay.
But I will just mark it up just for the fun of it.
It's the waiting game now.
Yeah, and it's literally now, the more liquidity that it collects, the likely that's going to have a bit of a retracement. I want to go with the trend, so I'd rather take a pullback sell. If it's going to be leading into New York Open, then I know that this line being I know that taking a trade for New York Open, looking for a breakout can be risky as. So if it breaks down, I'd rather than take the pullback to sell. Or if it has pushed down enough, given that we've had quite a significant sell-off in London, it's only small because of the, I mean, it's 120 pips at the moment, which is not small, but it's not like yesterday's one. But if it does keep on pushing down quite low, just for the new people, that London low is just not set yet because I haven't got an official London low yet. This is the current London low, but I'll move this line once it's, at when New York Open comes in. To be honest, if it just keeps on pushing down, collecting more liquidity, it's easier. It's much easier for me to buy. But until then, if I want to take a short-term scalp sell, then I'm looking for this 4-hour clean range to be filled.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
Yeah, this is going to be a potential problem, but I've already got this lined up. This is a risky liquidity point. So who knows, maybe I'm just going, if I get the right confirmation, I could probably target if I keep my stop loss like 10 pips, then I'll probably get like maybe a 40 or 50 pip move. Could be like 1 to 5. So I don't mind giving it like low risk and maybe give it 1 or 2 goes if I have to.
Yeah. If you're only risking a small amount. Yeah.
That's it. Higher reward. Not really using. I definitely wouldn't be using 1% unless it's like A++ setup. But I can get around using like a fixed lot maybe or a very low risk.
Yeah.
Maybe 0.2%. Go for a 1 to 5. Make 1%.
Yeah.
So at the moment, it's looking like, so that little buy that I had under here, it came down, stopped me out for break even. And then now it's pushing up. So I just don't want to I don't want to catch a falling knife. So I am more aggressive in holding, I'm more aggressive in not letting this one become a losing trade because I didn't like how it didn't fade out any of these bearish candles.
Yeah. Yeah, I like a breakout trade.
Yeah, I'd rather a pullback. I'd rather a pullback on this one. So this break
looking very similar to the US 30 at the moment. Very similar setup.
Yeah, I was looking at the DAX was when I had drawn that area.
Very, very similar.
I'll put this over here. Where I had marked that area on in the webinar. That was that little zone that we drew.
Yeah, that's it.
Of the reaction back to the structure.
Very, very similar. And is this to entice the buyers in? So they think, oh, it's going up.
Could do, yeah, or it could just be profit taking. and they just constantly there's always buying and selling taking place constantly.
Yeah,
it just makes sense where there's levels to get out. That makes sense that that it's just relieving some liquidity. So this is looking good. Yeah, nice
little push there.
Yeah. So this is taking this liquidity here now. So what I can do is I can just drag that across, and it's been taken. So let's see if we can push up in this another area. It's getting close to where I'm going to start looking for a reaction, but I'd like it to get a little bit deeper, at least to this line, 1642. This would then be closing that that 30-minute imbalance. This would make a lot of sense. So I'd like to see maybe a bearish candle, a little resistance, and then break that resistance, push up. So it closes like a little doji. So that's creating liquidity. I'd like to see this just to be a series of clean candles. When it's clean candles like this on the way down, but then we get it on the way up, it's easier for it to fill on the way back down. Because then it's like if it pushes straight up and we form a resistance, and this was like your structure, then it could easily come back down to that level. And that, and like the bigger that is, the better the risk reward and the more willing I'd give it a go. But giving it a go from here just to down to there, like I would be targeting here ultimately, but I know that this could be a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
So I'd need to see more confirmations at this level. And if anyone wants to ask something or share screens or whatever, feel free. So if it was going to, like, say this is my London low. If this was going to be my London current low, then this area is my 50%. So that's where price could pull back to. Oh, I'm up here 5-minute chart, so 1 minute's a little bit too fast. And the 1 hour order block was filled here. And I can just remove that name. So 5 minutes still looking like a bullish candle. 15 minutes, got a couple little rejection, little attempted liquidity candle, but it didn't actually do anything. This one here is the one that took liquidity from above this 15-minute doji, bearish candle.
Yeah.
But see how like it moved quite efficiently down as well? How all of these little, here's these wicks and that wick lines up with that wick. So it's moved efficiently down. So I'd like to see a bit more of a significant push up. To be honest, around 1644 would be ideal.
Okay.
Because from 1644, and if it is going to make another leg down, that'd be quite a deep pullback for this candle. And this is the one that we could look at, like maybe even 15-1 risk reward.
Wow.
If it gives us something like that. We can see like on the 15-minute, where was the imbalance on the 15-minute? You can mark on my charts as well with Zoom if you guys find the annotate tool. It should be, if you're viewing my screen, there should be a little green banner up here, and it would be under more and annotation. If you click on the little draw squiggle line, you should be able to draw. Okay, so see how it is having this reaction from that double top. There's a little 1 minute order block here. So I don't want to sell from this little area though. And like I won't hold this stream going forever. I'm just going to see if it did pull back in this time, that would have been a nice little trade that we could possibly get just before New York. So now this is that order block for the 1 minute. So you're seeing I have a little bit of a reaction from here.
Yeah.
This candle is quite nice. This was a, oh no, is it? No, it's not. It's not lower. Little tiny imbalance. Given the news, what's happening in the news? Pretty light, I thought, for the news. So this could just be pulling back for 3 o'clock. We've got consumer confidence. Until then, it's not a whole lot. So nothing really going to drive the market going crazy. Maybe FOMC come up next week. So maybe I think, what's he going to talk about? Digital innovations, payments evolution. So he might get asked questions about FOMC, but otherwise this may or may not move at it at all. Okay, so it's taking a little liquidity, starting to break this. Got this little clean candle. So let's see. It's this waiting game until now. Here wasn't really a confirmation for me to enter. This one possibly, this candle here possibly, given the way that it took the high of this previous candle, that it made sense. Like if it was rejecting the high, closing bearish underneath it, it makes sense now to go back to structure. But when we're looking at this on the 1 minute chart, there simply isn't risk reward to take it. That was only half a pip. So you can't take it. It's more about just practicing your eye to see these things and sort of understand how it's moved from this double top, taking a liquidity, had a little reaction. So early buyers would be buying breakout above here, thinking that maybe this is just a pullback. And now it's taken that, triggered people into the trade for early buyers, then pulled back on them. And it's come back to this little area. So these are little traps that the market sets. And it's low liquidity, so it's not really expecting much to happen. So form that little support at this order block, see how like it reacted, and see how this wick just dipped underneath. So there's the closing prices. The wick is the manipulation. Took it a little bit deeper, and then it gives that exit relief to push price back up. So tapping into this, what was this again? This was so far, wait a second. This is the 30-minute imbalance. So the top of the imbalance is the first area that I'm going to think, maybe there could be an opportunity around here. Based on, what was it based on? What was it based on for that? Oh, it was a 30-minute, sorry, it's just a 30-minute imbalance here. Okay. So let's see. Just so I don't get confused, I'm going to move that London low wherever I put it. at the low right now, because that's probably going to be the low for the session. Okay, so little doji, it's starting to, maybe it's trying to generate some liquidity. See where that doji is starting to happen from. So we've got like a little bit like this little order block here. Plus there's an imbalance. Remember, I'm looking for something like this first. Off the area I'm looking at. So no wick on this candle. So failed to break the high. Now it's wicked down a little bit. Now it's starting to break the high. Just got to be patient here. Now that little trade from under here, I'm regretting not holding it. But that's what happens. Okay, imbalance is filled. The 1 minute, sorry, 1 minute imbalance is filled. 30 minutes, still got to get to this line. And then for the hour, it's a bit higher. Clean candles. So this is looking good as well. So that if we do, oh, come on, don't react. I don't want it to react off of here. But it could very easily now fill this candle. Damn. Just for me, for risk reward, I needed it a little bit higher, but see how it all sort of makes sense. At the moment though, like this is bullish structure. So I'm really hoping that it doesn't, fill this whole thing. Oh, it can fill this whole thing. I don't care. It's a little bit annoying that it's forming structure around here. Like if it does something like this and then pushes up, then it decreases the amount of clean candles I had on the way up, which is a bit annoying because it means that the way down is not going to be as straightforward. And I like seeing quick moves. They're just so much nicer. But it makes a lot of sense. Like this area, liquidity on this little doji. Drop, doji, drop. So this zone, I don't want to put it as a point of interest for me, but it was like I wanted it off the top of it, not the bottom of it. And if it's on the bottom of it, there's not much I can do about it because risk reward was just a little bit not enough for me because I want to keep my stop loss above. I see that. So that was the move. That was the move I was looking for. Just not high enough. Probably when we look at it as well, like to be honest, it was only 0.3 of a pip away, but it makes all the difference when you're being patient and waiting for something. But that was an easy one. See how the clean candles just refills. Yeah. Because like for me to have gotten into that one, I'd be pretty careful about not just putting my stop loss above this wick. But I would like to see a reaction and potentially like a retest. And then at least then if my stop loss is I'd have to keep it above here, to be honest. I couldn't have used that. So now like here to here is just 1-to-1. To me, if I'm going to take a shot like this, I would have much rather it to be something like that. And you'll see like even when it gets to my first area, which could be a problem, then at least it's still 3-to-1. And I can at least take profits along the way if I need to at like 2-to-1 or 3-to-1. And then say, well, already done. If I risked a little bit, took a little good winner, and then I could hold it and see if we can actually break the London low in New York and go on to fill this entire 4-hour range But that's a real bummer. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get a retest because it's still clean candles here. But I think that may be the move. That was the one that I was looking for pre-NY. Now, after NY, I'd be looking for reactions, potentially like if New York gave me a reaction, and then once I finally get the confirmation I'm looking for to have that pullback, maybe then New York will pull back to my London 50%. Or where's my London 50%? London 50% is around here. So, yeah, I think that's my London 50%. Yeah, that is my London 50%. So maybe it's just because it looks massive because it's the 1 minute chart. But I think maybe New York could take the low and then push up, and then maybe I'll be able to get the sell later on. Or I could maybe catch that buy if it gives me what I'm looking for. Just check the 5 minutes. Let's not forget other time frames. So this is looking like a monster liquidity candle now. Wicked up into this 5 minute order block. And then broke the low. So yeah, came back into structure. Just the bottom of second structure. So annoying. I wanted it from the top of second structure. Yeah, the risk reward is not enough. Not enough to have wasted a bullet there. But the price action was clean. Very clean. What's that line there? What is it doing? It's just a random line. It's going to be my London 50% line. And I can get rid of this fib now. There we go. So the 30-minute imbalance still hasn't been filled. Double top was filled. This one here hasn't been filled, so that line's still going. I don't like when it's sort of overlapping because makes it ugly on the charts. Price came back to this. So this was second structure on the 1 minute. Oh, okay, coming back. Now, if it's coming and retesting the top again, normally I would look for a sell. But given that this wasn't at my area that I wanted, it was close, but it wasn't. So in that case, I'm not going to take a retest of this swing because I don't fully trust it. But if it's going to come back and reach higher, that's cool. I'm happy with that. We could argue and say that there's imbalance across here and around here for liquidity. But I'm not looking to take that. Could be a liquidity grab. Not bad. This wicking down like this, because it's got like, even if it comes back to retest 15-minute first structure, that could be all right. I don't want to jump into buys though. If I'm going to jump into buys, I think I want to take buys under the London low. If I had a buying idea, then perhaps it would have been across here, but I wasn't looking for buys. Not yet. There's not a liquidity candle to us breaking and closing bullish. Still bearish candle otherwise. Oh, the hour candle closed now. So respecting this order block. What'll be easy is if this one closes like that then. Because then we could think of retest. Or it can consolidate in here for a little bit. But at the moment, go with the trend would be looking for sells from at least these areas where I've got marked out. Ones that are still on the right-hand side of the chart. Maybe it's just going to range. Monthly levels holding. Well, the ultimate cowboys would have taken that regardless and then taken the retest. But it's too much. It's too much scalping for me in here that I don't want to mess my psychology up being too impulsive. Okay, last minute of the 15-minute candle. What's going to close? Maybe it's going to close. It could have closed as a Wickfield candle. So 10 seconds. This could be like high risk, but maybe it is going to range. And if it was going to do a wick fill, probably going to miss the little move. But if it's going to do wick up a little bit, and if it was going to do that wick fill, that would be 10 pips. That's 2.5 to 1. Maybe if it pushes up and does this candle and wick up and then maybe take the low and just going to, maybe it is just going to range. So I want to enter here. I want to wait for it to either keep on pushing up or give me something like this again, but I need a stronger confirmation. Whereas I want to see a doji. And the next one, I want to see, I don't care the color of the doji, but then start wicking up. And then maybe I'd put a sell limit, sell stop, and then target the bottom of the range. I might give that a go. So let this one wick up a little bit. At least fill this imbalance that we've still got. Let's just change the color so it's a little bit like this. Ideally, if this, I don't trust this as a liquidity bit, but I will mark that just in case. I want to see this continue to print more cleaner candles. I don't want any hesitation here, really. It's going to close in 2 seconds. Oh, okay. Now, wick up. Maybe give a fake out. It's only 10 pips between here and here. So we can't really execute on here because when you factor spread in, you're just watering down so much. Yeah. See how I was getting the squeeze on? So it's a little bit more awkward. There's no real clean traffic to trade through. So it hasn't taken out this and didn't give us a doji and then didn't wick up. So at the moment, just so it's not confusing, I'll take that away because there's no trade yet. Any questions? Looks like the volume's really dying. That was the wick up. Starts breaking its own low. There's a good chance it can fill this wick. See how like this is a fake out? It was looking like a fake out with this being resistance. So what I'd like to see, I don't want to be fooled thinking I'm gonna trade this range yet without the confirmation. So now we've taken, oh good, we took this imbalance. Now that's good. I'll move that up. I'll move both of these up, makes it a bit cleaner. So these are the new areas. Okay, see if we can see a doji. Yeah, come on. Take it. It's right here for you. $30 coming to a close and soon. Looking like a good curve could go higher, to be honest, given that this wick. But if it gives us a confirmation, we can take a shot. There's a doji. Now wick up higher and possibly take this liquidity. Go on. Go on. I'll tell you when I enter. It hasn't taken it yet. Feels like it could pop up. Not yet. 5 minute came to a close. Still quite strong, this 5 minute candle. Taking the low from underneath here. Let's push up, come on. Okay, so it's taking the liquidity from here now. Cool. Now, take the 30-minute imbalance. Nice little liquidity candle. So let's see if this is the manipulation coming in. Take the 30-minute. Aggressive, lower risk reward entry is breaking underneath here for downside. I'd rather it take here and then see if we can get a riskier entry or a pullback entry for risk reward. So it's almost going to close this imbalance. So I like this doji here. We've got 15 seconds for this 1 minute to close. Oh, it's not going to close the doji. Or maybe. Okay, closed too bullish yet. So let's let it close this imbalance. Just take more liquidity. Riskier entry is going to be around here. Cool. That's good. So it's definitely closed it there. 1 hour imbalance is up here. So I could give it a shot maybe. Let's see if we can get a doji here. Grabbing this. Oh, there's a liquidity taken. Close bullish. Okay, we want to see a doji. Now we want to see this formation. Now it's closing the H1 gap. Come on. This is going to give us a doji. So now that's closed as well. Oh, okay. So did I not have that there? 5 minute. That's the entry. I'm going to enter. 1 second. Not yet. Okay, anything that's breaking the low of this candle, I'll enter. So I'm just going to set it up. Okay. Let's see. $38. Oops. Stop loss. 44.6. All right, let's see. Entry was 43.34. That was the entry. When it gets back to here, I'm gonna close. Yeah, I've entered well. I'm gonna close 50%. When it gets down to here. Could have taken some off at this wick, but it wasn't enough risk for because I gave it set. Well, they give it. Yeah, it wasn't quite enough. It wasn't quite 1-to-1. When I factor in spread, it was when it came down to there. It was it was 0.8-to-1. So let's see. It was this candle, this 5-minute candle. See how like broke the high, lows lower, and then here's your wick. So let me just put a box around that one so we can sort of see where it reacted on it. This colorful box. Now I don't want it to form too much of a support here. That's the 30 minutes come to a close now. Bit risky entering on the 30-minute close, which is basically what I did. Because that, no, I did on the, just after the 30-minute closed. Because this 30-minute could just be pulling back to make a lower wick for the 30 minutes. So that was a little bit of a, I didn't consider that. So let's see. That was a little bit ill, not considering the time. But if this is a liquidity candle and it's taken liquidity, then we don't really want to see it breaking much higher. We just want this to be the pullback. So it's going to be chill. Need to get under this candle. If it's forming too much of a support here, it could just be building a base to push up higher. So it's gonna have to drop down for me pretty soon. If it's going to come back to my entry, I'm going to close 50%. Come on. Okay, close 50%. Just to offload a little bit of risk on here. Now, if it's wicking down and it respects the low of this candle and then starts breaking the high, I'll close the whole thing. So what I'm doing is just trying to manage my risk. Keep it even smaller. Struggling to break that low. Okay, I'm going to close it. I'm going to close it as soon as it breaks that high. That's the last chance. Bring my stop loss to above this wick now. Yeah. Okay. Now look for the next little spot. So that obviously this one didn't work. Now we're at London 50%. Now there's another little spot up here. Oh gosh. So luckily we closed it, managed that one really well. Close 50% at break even, and then closed it earlier, and we're risking initially, I was risking initially like 12 pips or 10, 11 or 12 pips, and then ended up only taking 50% loss of 5 pips. Okay, so now, gosh, that's pretty 30 pip spike. Now, taking liquidity from up here. So let's go to 5 minutes, have a look. This was the next zone. So this gap was done. This gap was done. This trade's gone. $30-minute order block. That's what we're looking at as well as a potential to be retested. So that makes a lot more sense. If it's breaking down under here again, then potentially could re-enter. Just see how this one, because that was a big liquidity grab. Potential liquidity grab. Could be a wick fill. See you, David. So that was taken there. That was taken there. Now it just makes sense to keep on looking for continuation until maybe London, New York open. Let's see. If we can get something to close back under here, it could be a shot. Pull back to London 50% makes sense. So 1, 2. I don't like this area here, but if it wicked up, started breaking this low, it would make sense. It would make sense to come back down, maybe fill this candle. But I think now it's okay, there's a little doji. It's getting close to now. It's almost just better to wait until London, New York open. But this is the last. I'm just going to watch this. Then I'll have to scoot. Let's see if this breaks this low and then drops down a bit, at least to fill this area. The 5 minute come to a close. Can either do a wick fill or reject. It's got only two options. Hey, Ivan. Okay, wick fill or reject. No. Okay. So it's just going to stay in here. Now it's getting too close to New York that I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to wait for the New York Open and then see what it's going to do. So got 10 minutes. I'm going to go get a little bit of lunch, I think. A little bit of lunch and then sort of reset and just do the same process again. So wasn't a good, the trade was fine. Just wasn't a successful trade, but it was managed really well. So I think that's like, if it came down a little bit lower, I would have been able to secure some. But then when it came back up, secured, so closed 50% at break even. And then when it started breaking up the high above here, then just brought the stop loss to above the candle. So just a really small loss on that one, mitigated loss on it. And then we'll just I'm just going to do the same process again. London 50% set here. Now these areas have been taken. So if it starts breaking above here, then I'll just wait for my higher zones point of interest to wait for reactions. Otherwise, I want to see price start to break down from here. And then I think we can retest the London low and maybe break a little bit lower. And then maybe New York then collecting the London low liquidity will then start to push up higher again. I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to target potential buys from under the London low, maybe at this risky liquidity point, keeping the same thing, stop loss low, but I'd prefer to be able to get into a sell from up here to target down here. And then maybe on the 4 hour, we can target like fill this clean candle. So that'd be really ideal. But there'd probably be a between New York Open and New York Stock Exchange Open, probably a good chance there's going to be a reaction from under here. That's what I'm going to keep my eye on. But I think I'll still save and upload this because I think it was good in terms of risk management. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll upload it. Won't be any clickbait title though, because it wasn't a successful trade. So I don't expect many people to watch it. Cool. Alrighty. Well, I'll end that now and I'll chat to everyone in the Discord. Okay.
Thanks, Ivan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.